What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'll be working on this 2013 F350 right here. So what I'll be doing is a custom wiring so that the power mirrors will fold with the remote, just like this. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, make sure you stay tuned and let's get to it. Alright, so the truck that I'm working on is a 2013 F350, and this is what the switch panel looks like right here, and as well as the master switch for the windows. So if yours looks different, it's probably not going to work. So just make sure that your switches look exactly like this, because if not, then it's going to be a little bit different wiring right there. So right here we have the folding switch. So if you press it down, it'll fold them or unfold them, and then this will retract the mirrors, and then your locks and all that other stuff is right here. So the way this is wired up, it'll also work with your door lock. So if I press the lock, it'll fold the mirrors, and whenever you do the unlock, it'll also unfold them. And whenever the truck is running, it won't affect it, so you'll be good right there.
Good. That's great, Paul.
So this is to retract the mirrors, and it works with ignition. So I'll go ahead and do the ignition. And you can see right here, this is to, retract the mirrors and then open them back up. And then with this, you can fold them or unfold them. And whenever you have the key in the ignition, these won't control it. So they'll be good to go. And whenever you turn the truck off, then this will be functional again. So you can unlock it right there, and as well as the factory ones. So if I press it again, it'll close them. And then again, it'll open them up just like normal. And then if you have an alarm or the original, it'll still work as well. So pressing lock will fold them, and then unlock will unfold them. The cool thing about this setup is if your switch right here is in the wrong position, for example like this or just like that, the mirrors will still fold with the remote right there, and I'll go ahead and show you right now. Or as well as if this switch is just like not functioning whenever it's in the center position and you press it down, then it'll still work with the remote. So for example right now, I have it on the wrong position, so if I pull this, the mirrors won't fold. Or also if this switch is defective and you pull it down and it's not like moving your mirrors, then this should still work as long as the wiring still has power right there. So if I press lock right here, it'll fold them even though it's in the wrong position. And of course, unlock. So I'll go ahead and show you the parts needed for this mod right here. Alright, for this project, it's going to be pretty simple. I'll just be using one relay, so you can kind of see the relay, and then the socket right here, which makes it easier to install because it's already pre-wired. And then also 2 diodes, but I have the pack, so I'll just be grabbing 2 out of here, and a little bit of wire right here just to do an extension. And then of course some tape or solder, whatever you want to use right there.
Yeah, everything, I tell you.
So the first thing that I'll do right now is pull out this yellow wire, which is pin 87. So I won't be using this, so let me go ahead and depin it real quick. So here's a better look where it says pin 87 on top, and when you put it in like this, you can see that it's the yellow wire. So I'll just go ahead and pull it out just like that, and that won't be needed right there. And now we just got 4 wires left over. Next up, I'll be cutting on this blue wire right here, which is pin 30. I'm just gonna cut a little bit right here, so just like this. I'll put me a little bit of heat shrink because I'm gonna be soldering into here. And then what I'll be doing is grabbing the diodes and then putting them right here. So the diodes have to be joined just like this with the stripes on the bottom, and then I'll go ahead and solder them in this area. So let me go ahead and do that real quick right here. So something like that right there. And I have my extra piece of wire right here, which I'll cut and join to those diode legs right there. So I got 2 now. So this should be good right here. Let me just go ahead and start soldering it right now. So it should be just like this, and let me go ahead and close it up real quick. That way they're not going to be touching, and they're separate right there.
If you don't, you will fall out of balance.
Alright guys, so they're all soldered up now, and I can go ahead and actually close this all up. I'm going to put some Tessa tape in this area, that way it doesn't look too bad, and then we can just mess with this in the truck right there. So you're going to be having, these 5 wires right here. And I'll go ahead and insert my relay into the socket just to make sure that the pins are not going to come out through this side right here, because I want to make sure they're sitting correctly. So just like that, and then just make sure that these are all in place and they're not going to be popping out. So that looks good, and I can actually tape it up now. And I just like to do this to make it look a little bit cleaner, and that way the wires are not going to be just flying around all over the place right there. So this Tesla tape works pretty good, but you can also use, you know, some braided sleeve or, you know, whatever you like right there. Or if you just want to leave it bare, you can also leave it bare.
That's your choice, John.
And I just like the way it looks with the Tesla tape because, you know, it's a little bit more cleaner and I can organize the wires a little bit better right there. So this right here should be good around this area. So just like that, and now, you know, the wires are not just hanging and it looks a little bit better. So on these two blue ones, I'm just gonna cut them to around here. That way they can all be the same length. So something like that. That should be good. And now I got, you know, just 5 wires right there. So I'll just be working in this area to do the modification, and what I'm gonna do is pry this open so you can just pull it up. You can use some pry tools or you can just pull it off. So it just comes out like that. So this one I'll use the pry tool because it's a little bit tighter. And just like that. So 3 plugs here, and then this one has 3 plugs. So what I'll do now is unplug these and then run the wires on this side. That way it's easier to tap into them. So I'll just take this one off right here. And then this one right there. And then this one as well. So just like that. And I'm gonna pass these under. That way it's easier to tap onto the wires. So I'm just pulling them under just like that. So this should be good right here. Now they're all close together, and this is where I'm gonna be doing all my connections right here. So I have my relay right here ready to go, and we can see the 2 blue wires which are pin 30 right here. And I'll go ahead and do these to the power locks. So if you guys notice, there's a lock right here, so unlock and lock. And the 2 wires are gonna be this light blue wire and then also this yellow with the violet stripe. So that's the pin locations right there. This very far right, so this light blue, and then you skip this green wire and then this next one. So yellow with the violet stripe right there. And there's a close-up right there, so yellow violet stripe and then the light blue right there. And so the light blue is a lock wire, and then this yellow with the violet stripe is the unlock wire. But they don't really matter. As long as we join these 2 blue wires into one of each, then it should be good to go. So 1 blue here and then 1 blue on the other one. So let me go ahead and join them right there. All right, so my lock wires are done. 1 here and then the other one right there. So that's the 2 blue wires, and that's pin 30 right there on the locks. All right guys, so we got 2 wires done and 3 more to go. So let me know what you think so far, and also if you like this content, don't forget to hit that like button down below. So I just went ahead and plugged in the connectors, you know, just to show you guys right here. So next up, I'll be wiring pin 86 right here, which is going to be the ignition, and we're going to be grabbing it off this bottom switch right here. So if your truck doesn't have this, you may have to get it, you know, off the column or something like that. So it's got to be an ignition. That way it only has power when the truck is on. And in this case right here, it's this 8-pin connector, and it's going to be pin 4. So pin 4 right here is going to be the green with the violet stripe. So this wire right here. And here's a better look. On the very far left, you see that number 1, and all the way to the right, you see that 8. So it's that 4th wire. So if your color is different, it's just got to be in that pin location. Should be good to go. And you can also test it with a multimeter to make sure, but it's got to be an ignition wire. All right, so I got my ignition from right here, and now it's all taped up. I just got 2 wires left to go. And remember, if there's no ignition here, or you don't have this switch right here that does the ignition, then you can get it from inside the truck. So pin 85 right here is the black wire, and we have to ground it, you know, any metal right here. I'm just gonna grab it off the harness because, you know, it's just making a circle right here with the wiring, so it doesn't require a lot of power. And I'll be grabbing it off this black wire right here. So I'll be hooking those 2 wires into the switch right here, which makes them fold, and I'm gonna unplug it from right here. So just like that. So I just went ahead and turned it around so you can see a little bit better. So on the very top left, there's a number 1, and on the top right, there's a number 4. So we're gonna be using number 3 and 4. This black wire is the ground, which is pin 3, this one right here. And then pin 4 is the one for the mirrors. So the black wire will be going to the black relay wire, which is pin 85. And then pin 87A, which is the red wire, will be going to the very far right on the gray with the brown stripe. So just like that. And I'll go ahead and solder them right now and show you real quick. So these 2 wires will get joined right there. All right guys, so I got my wires all soldered up, and you can see right here the red wire is on the gray with the brown stripe, and then my ground is on the black wire. So that's all the wiring right there, and I can just test it out before I clean it up and then put it all back together. All right, so let me go ahead and test it out real quick with the switch right here. So lock will fold them. And then the unlock should open them up. All right, so it looks like it's working. And also on the passenger. So let me know what you guys think on this down below in the comments. I think it came out pretty good. So it was actually very easy, and you know, it's just one relay, so not too bad at all. So I'll try it out with the remote right here, and you know, even if it's an aftermarket or not, it doesn't really matter. So there it is, lock. So it works in the same way over there, and unlock. All right, so it looks like we're good to go right there, and not too bad at all. So let me go ahead and clean it up and put it back together. All right guys, so I just cleaned up all my wiring right here. They're all Tesla taped and everything, and the relay I'm just gonna tuck down here, and it should be good. You know, it shouldn't be in the way or anything like that. So I'll just leave it just like this, should be good to go. And I'm gonna just pass up these wires back right here, and I can close it back up. So that looks good right there. And it's on. And this one just uses the clip here and then there. So you just press it down, should be pretty easy. All right, so it's good to go right there. All right guys, and also whenever you drive the truck, the mirror should be okay. So whenever you press lock or unlock, it's not gonna be moving them around. And I'll go ahead and test it out right here. So I'll turn the truck on. And if I press the unlock or lock, it's good. So the mirrors are not moving. And whenever I turn the truck off, then now they should be functional again. So there it is right there. And then also, you know, open right there. So no problems there, and that's the reason why I had the ignition wire right there. And if you don't have that button with the ignition, then you do have to get it from inside here. So if you don't have the ignition wire right here, then you can get it from inside the truck, and that way it's going to be working properly. And whenever you're driving and you lock your doors or unlock them, the mirrors are not going to be moving around, only when the truck is off. Also, the way that this system right here is designed, it only has one trigger. So whenever you press the button down, it'll fold the mirrors, and then when you press it down again, it'll unfold them. So on the remote, it's gonna do the same thing. If you press lock twice, it's gonna open the mirrors again, and that's just the way that the truck is wired up. So let me go ahead and see if I can show you on camera right here.
You gotta stay relaxed.
Yeah. So right here, if I press lock, you know, it'll fold the mirrors. And then if I press lock again, it'll also, you know, unfold them. And that's just because of one trigger system, but you know, that's just the way it works, and just wanted to let you guys know right there. And if you guys are thinking of doing this custom mod right here, I would just be careful whenever you press the lock and unlock. You don't want to do it too many times because the mirrors can freeze up, since they're not, you know, designed to be moving around like that. So if the mirrors freeze up for any reason by pressing on it too many times, just give them a little bit of time. That way they can reset, and it should be good after that. So there it is, guys. That's it for the wiring right there. And also, if this video helped you out or anything like that, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. That way we can keep making more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gone.